The House Committee on Justice has dismissed the 2 impeachment complaints against President Bongbong Marcos. That's by declaring the complaints not sufficient in substance. This officially triggers the rule barring further ouster moves against Marcos for 1 year via Congress. Mobile journalist Aime Atienza has tonight's big story.
For 1 year, no impeachment complaint can be filed against President Bongbong Marcos. That's after the 2 impeachment complaints against him were dismissed at the committee level on February 4. Coincidentally, this is the eve of the first anniversary of his estranged Vice President Sara Duterte's impeachment by the House of Representatives. That happened on February 5, 2025. Fast forward to 2026, Wednesday, the ouster move against President Marcos by way of Congress did not even reach plenary.
The impeachment complaint of De Jesus, insufficient in substance. The chair declares the Masa et al. Impeachment complaint insufficient in substance.
Insufficient in substance. This simply means that the 2 complainants were not able to prove that the president committed an impeachable offense. The first complaint was filed by Attorney Andre De Jesus and endorsed by Pusong Pinoy Party List Representative Jet Nisay. An overwhelming 42 voted against it moving forward, while 1 voted against, while 1 abstained. PhilHealth grounds for the first complaint include the unconstitutional transfer of almost 90 billion pesos in excess of PhilHealth funds to the National Treasury. But during Tuesday's debate at the House Justice Committee, lawmakers argued that the grounds were based on hearsay and media reports and that the complainant lacked personal knowledge of them. Wednesday's deliberations were as heated at one point. That's when the panel discussed the second impeachment complaint filed by Bayan and the Makabayan bloc of the lower chamber. 3 acts of betrayal of public trust were cited as grounds. But minority leaders pointed to the third as the most impeachable offense, that Marcos was allegedly involved in kickbacks and insertions in the national budget. To one minority congressman, this is a clear betrayal of public trust. Though this will need a former Congressman Zaldico, the former Appropriations Committee chair, to personally testify and prove it.
Given that standard, that these allegations are assumed to be true, the complaint, insofar as the third ground is concerned, does satisfy the threshold standard of sufficiency in substance.
It's direct personal involvement in budgetary insertions and kickbacks schemes. Sa tingin ko po, itong third ground ang pinakamalakas.
Justice Committee Vice Chair Keith Flores dangled the legal requirement that impeachment complainants should have personal knowledge of their accusations.
But we have to go back to the verification again, Madam Chair, that the information contained in the impeachment complaint must be true and correct based on their personal knowledge and on authentic documents. We already know that former Congressman Zaldico is not here.
In the end, the motion to declare the second impeachment complaint sufficient in substance lost with only 7 affirmative votes and 39 noes. Of course, the Makabayan bloc was dismayed by the turnout. They believe the Justice Committee's decision was rushed, with some congressmen sounding like they're lawyering for President Marcos.
Napakahusay na pagpaliwanag po ng ibang mga kasamahan natin, tulad ni na Congressman Irice, ni Congresswoman Laila de Lima, Congressman Chel Jokno. Malinaw na sa batayan na yan ay sufficient in substance ang complaint at dapat tumuloy sa susunod na yugto. So malinaw po, mukhang desidido talaga ang komite na patayin na sa yugtong ito pa lamang ang complaint.
Hindi naman po pag-aabogado sa presidente, bagkus pagbibigay po ng opinyon ng bawat isa. So hindi mo naman maaalis sa mga abogado na mambabatas na ipaliwanag kung paano tignan yung mga pagtanggap ng ebidensya.
Despite the House Justice Committee striking down the 2 impeachment complaints, plenary still needs to approve the report from the panel on Monday, February 9. 1/3 or 106 votes from House lawmakers are needed to junk the impeachment complaints altogether.
I cannot still say it's dead because there's still a proceeding that will happen in the plenary.
Meantime, Malacanang says due process was followed in discussions on the ouster complaints against the chief executive.
Ikinatutuwa po natin na nasunod ang proseso at nagpapasalamat po tayo na nakita po ng mga mababatas kung ano po talaga ang katotohanan.
Kapatid Aime Atienza, we are One News.